Well, hello, welcome back to Keryl Reborn, the show that might one day see a classic sailing yacht floating again. Maybe. Last time we were setting up the templates and making this first rough cut to get this blank for the keel. Obviously moving on now to shape it, to sculpt it, to replicate exactly what it's replacing. Some things are going well. The hoists are working a treat with a lever arm at the end of the timber. I can crank it and handle it on my own, which is always the point of this. It makes life so much easier. It took some tape around the package of the templates and the timber to actually make it run smoothly, but it did in the end. Just spend some time grazing this down with a long plane. The trouble I'm come to though is when I set up this lower template, so you're looking now at the underside of the keel, the bottom, and this is the bearing face that will be bolted to the keel, the ballast keel, either lead or that iron if I have to use it again. And the trouble is that now I've put the fine dimension line on for the bottom, it just nips into the sapwood that's still on this board. Now, I always knew there was sapwood, that's I agreed this with East when they cut it. It's just there's a little bit too much of it. So what I'm fighting, or what I'm trying to balance, is the best way to shape this keel so that it doesn't include any of this sapwood. I was going to flip the whole thing over so that this becomes the rabbit and gets removed that way, but actually now I've tried to do that with the template sitting on it. It doesn't quite marry, because the template isn't quite symmetrical, because the boat isn't. I've corrected some things. I can't actually get it to work this way around, not easily. Which means I'm going to keep this as the bottom face, which means I have to do something in the 30 degrees of heat that I've got going on at the moment. I don't really want to do, but it's going to have to be done, and that's to reduce the thickness of this slab by 5 to 7 millimeters. And that should just push the sapwood out of the zone that I'm working in by any of the sums that I can make to try and predict that anyway. So to take a big slab like this down accurately, obviously I'm not going to try and do that with a hand plane. I'm going to use the power plane to do it, but before I do that I'm just going to route some level lines. This is set to 5 mil, gives me 2 mil spare if I want to go down to 7. So I can run some straight grooves against this batten to set that depth across the whole board, and then I use the power plane to go down to those marks in a way. So the safe way I know how to do it anyway. It's come up beautifully, I've got to say. On a day when it's 30 degrees or so in here, it's gone muggy and it's looking like a thunderstorm's on its way, so there's no air moving at all, and I am hot in here. There's something very satisfying about that. Looking at it so beautifully smooth. I'm just going over the plane set fairly, or very low now. Just finding the last little humps and bumps. As far as the problem of the soft edge, the sapwood, I think I've got a fair compromise. That that 5mm that I took off in height has pushed that sapwood out to, I think it'll miss. Or if I have any repairs, they'll be tiny. When everything's to final dimension and comes in a bit and goes down a bit, and if I need to, I can still take another 5mm off. I have it in hand to play with, and I'm going to keep it in hand in case I need it at any other part of the process of shaping this. I'm packing up for the night, sweeping the floor and putting the boat tent to bed, and I thought I'd just come back and show you this. I've just thrown oil, linseed oil, on my keel timber, and it's just really brought it to life. You can see that grain swirling away. Yeah, I've got the sapwood there, but like I say, you've got to count your milestones and find your enjoyment on a journey like this. And for me to have been sweating all day, shaving this thing down by hand, to stand back and see it just gleaming, kind of feels worth it.